Hello everyone, this is potpotsie here, and today I got my iPhone 6 in the mail, and I have an iPhone 3GS, a 5, and this is the new 6. So I'm just going to do a quick comparison video. I know a lot of people, including myself, love to see comparisons. So the iPhone 4 is obviously missing here. It's approximately the same size as a 3GS. Of course, it's thinner, and they redid the design and made it look more like the 5 and the bezeled edges and whatnot. But as far as the actual screen size and stuff goes, the 3GS is the same as the 4, so I figured it's okay that we're missing the 4, because this will be about the same length. So this is the 4, 5, and 6, like I mentioned, and right there. So I'm going to unlock them, so you can see the front screens. So obviously the 6 is considerably larger than both of them. Compared to the 3GS, you can see this is from basically the start. This is how the iPhone's screens started on the left, and this is where we're at now. So you can tell they've made a huge. This feels like a baby phone now that I've got the new one. This feels tiny to me. Like how was I ever using this phone? It just feels so small, and this one feels so good. Like it's just the right size. But of course, I'm sure every generation we feel like it's better and better. I cannot imagine how big the Plus is. The Plus has got to be huge, because I was thinking about it. I almost got one because I've got big hands, and this one actually fits perfectly for me, and it's not even the big one, and my hands are huge because I am a tall person. So I'm quite impressed with the size here, and this is the actual 5, and some people think it doesn't look that much bigger, but the reality is the bezels on the edges and such are actually smaller on the new one, so the phone size itself isn't necessarily way bigger, but it actually has a much bigger screen. So I don't know if you can tell accurately in the camera that I'm holding here how big the sizes are, but it is considerably larger. Enough so that I look at it and I think, that is really nice compared. And the apps don't feel so squished like they do on here, it's just they're so close. This one gives you more room on the apps and such. So I really like the whole new feel. It's so light, it's weird. It's like it doesn't feel cheap because you can feel the glass and the actual aluminum and stuff. It feels nice, but for some reason, it's almost so light that it almost begins to feel cheap just because of that. But it's not. It definitely doesn't feel that way. I'm just saying overall. So the backs, we'll look at the backs now, and we can see the different design they've done. So they've gone through phases. I don't know if everyone's kept track of everything, but they've gone through phases. On this phone, it's a solid color. It's just completely white on the back. The iPhone 4s did the same thing. It was just one solid color on the back. Then the 5s, they decided to add these bands again. They had these different bands on the bottom and top on the iPhone 1, I think it was. The very first iPhone, I believe, had that. Then they took it away on the 3GS. I think the 3Gs also had the bands. They took it away, and then they brought it back. And this phone, they changed it up a little bit. It's got bands, but it's just got a little separator instead of a full solid color difference on the bottom. So I personally like it. I've read a lot of things that people say they don't like the design a whole lot, and I've seen a lot that say they do. I definitely love the design, and I love the feel. Obviously, you couldn't feel it here, but it's completely rounded on the edge. So as you swipe across your phone, it feels really smooth and nice, as opposed to the older one here on the iPhone 5. It's very hard edge. Oh, and I didn't mention also, for those of you that don't know, the iPhone 5 and 5S are essentially the same, with the exception of the fingerprint scanner. So if you're wondering, oh, I wonder how my 5S looks compared to the 6, this would be the same thing. So they look exactly the same as far as their outer shell goes, except for the fingerprint scanner, as I mentioned. So if you haven't upgraded and you're still on the 3GS or the 4, you may consider doing so if you've got a little bit of extra money, because this is a much nicer display. Not only is it larger, it's actually cleaner. The lighting's better, the color looks better, all that. And I think the lighting, I think you can see a reflection from the camera. I'm sorry, the screens are completely dark. You can't really see it. It's reflecting things. But anyway, so that's a different review for the comparisons of the hardware. I'm considering doing a speed test, if you guys would like to see one, where I take all these phones here and I load things up and see which ones load the fastest. Obviously, it's going to be the 6, but some people like to see, oh, I wonder how fast they load Safari compared to each other, so I can hit all 3 Safaris at the same time. If you'd like to see anything like that, go ahead and put it in the comments below, because I've got a lot of ideas of videos I could make. I don't know which ones to do, so if you guys can give me some recommendations on what you prefer me do first, that would really help out. So thanks again, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you on the next video.